Well, what I'd like to speak to is the desire to know, right? I think the desire to know at this stage is one of the major impediments, right, to stepping into the light of God. And this is what I mean when I say that the intellect is in some sense the same as the ego, right? It's like, it's us thinking that we can run the show. It's us thinking that we can work it out and we can win by ourselves, right? You know, we're going to do this and then we're going to do that and then we're going to do that. And what that usually ends up as an excuse for inaction, because we go, well, we're not quite sure what will happen then, and we're not sure about that, and that could go wrong, and it could all end in tears. And you know, that's not what walking in the light of God means in 2021. And I'm saying this as a, you know, nerdy intellectual, right? So I'd love to spend several hours talking about the minutiae of citizens' assemblies. But that's not what this call's about. What this call's about is having the humility to realize that you cannot do it without God, right? You cannot do it without that emotional imperative to go to the guy in the ditch and help, right? Not knowing whether you're going to get to the end of the road, not knowing how much it's going to cost when you get to the inn, not knowing whether he's going to die on the way, you know, not knowing how much money it's going to be when he goes back to pay the debt. You see what I mean? It's like he has one thing in his mind, which is this man's in suffering. He's suffering. He's in pain. An injustice has been done. He's been attacked by the robber. The next step is to go and intervene to help that man. So the next step for Christians is to say to the American government, to state governments, this cannot go on.